Okay, at the second part of this course today, we will learn more about radio and checkboxes. So, as you may have already known, a checkbox is a specific type of two-state button that can either be checked or unchecked. In the meantime, for a radio button, it is a widget which can have more than one options to choose from. And if you recall from the second week, they must be grouped into a radio group. So a radio group provides the capability of selecting only one radio button from the set. Okay, let's take a look at checkbox first. We can use checkbox when user may choose more than one options, and it is actually derived from buttons, so their attributes are similar. For example, like type, and then we can use set on click listener and so on. And we can also check checkbox via codes. Let's see some examples here. Checkbox is checked. I hope you are not confused by this statement. If we want to check whether or not a checkbox is checked, just use the isChecked property or isChecked attribute. Then we can check a checkbox via code by using a isChecked equals to true. For the listener, we can use on-click listener like buttons, set on-click listener, but checkbox can have a general event handler that can handle every checkboxes on an activity. So we don't need to write the listeners for each checkboxes. And actually this is also true for the buttons. How to do that, we will do it later. So for now, let's say that we have three checkboxes here. For features, we have a Dolby Surround checkbox, we have a Dolby Atmos checkbox, and a 3D checkbox. Okay, so by default, checkboxes are not checked. Like in this example, you can use the check, or actually is checked. Not just checked. Is checked attribute to change their state or their value. For example, later after we have added these three checkboxes, we will try to set the Dolby Surround checkbox to be checked by default, but we will do it on the onCreate. Let's add these three checkboxes first to the activity main, and it's above the movie poster URL. So we must put this further down again, and then add the text view first. Okay, I will connect it here. The margin is 8, and then the text is features. And we add three checkboxes: check Dolby Surround, check Dolby Atmos, and check 3D. It is actually in the button group of your palette. So add the checkbox. Okay, constrain it first. 1, 2, Dolby Surround. And I will change the name into check surround. Okay, and then the second one is Dolby Atmos. The ID is check Atmos. Okay, change the constraint, change the text Dolby Atmos. So the ID is check Atmos. And for the third checkbox, I don't think I have enough room, so I must move this movie poster further down. Okay, the third one is over here. Give it some constraints, and this one is 2D, yeah? 3D, and so for the ID is check 3D. Okay, now I can reconnect my movie poster URL to the bottom of my checkbox. Here, I will give it 8 margin, and yeah, that's all. Okay, now we must set the Dolby Surround checkbox to be checked by default. Let's do that on our main activity. Check checkbox. The ID is check surround. Then use the is check property or attribute. Then set it to true. Yeah, that's all. Now, if we try this application, oh, I forgot again to give the runtime default value. Yeah, I will do it later. Okay, now as you can see here, my Dolby Surround checkbox is already checked. Yeah, and of course, I can check and uncheck those 3 checkboxes individually. And as you can see now, my layout is longer than my screen. So now we can see the scroll view in action. Okay, then before I forget, then I will have the runtime. Let's say, oh, the text is not here. Let's say 120 maybe. Yeah, this is the default value, yeah, for the runtime. Okay, now, oh, we have another edit text. Oh well, yeah. Okay, let's add the edit text first before we do the right side, yeah. Add an edit text. It is showing on, and then this one is edit studio, but it is disabled, yeah, enabled set to false. Okay, then let's move this movie poster again. And I think I accidentally give it some left margin. I will delete my left margin first or set it by 0. Okay, and I will have a showing on label over here. Showing on. And another edit text, yeah, plain text is fine. Connect it here, here, and there. Change the width, layout width to match constraint. Delete the text, and let's make it disabled. Yeah, enabled is false. Yeah, this way the user won't be able to change the text. Yeah, we will change the text by ourselves. Then for the movie poster URL, I will reconnect it to this one. Okay, then I think we are done. Oh, not yet. The ID is Text Studio. I will use Edit Studio. Although this one is not editable yet. That's fine. Now let's change the font family into Carla. Font family, Carla. And for the 3 checkboxes, we must find the on-click attribute and type something like this, features handler. You can select all of them, yeah. 1, 2, 3. Then search for on click. Yeah, this one. Just type in features handler. Yeah, for now, actually, you will get some errors, and I got already multiple errors here, but I think it's only for yeah, content level missing. Let's just ignore them. Yeah. But now for the check surround, check atmos, and check 3D, the on-click method does not exist. Yeah, why? Because we have not created a specific method for on-click. Yeah, so actually, features handler is a custom function to handle all checkbox listeners. Yeah, we will add this function later. And actually we will add it now. Yeah. Okay, open your main activity, and outside the onCreate function, but still inside the main activity class, yeah, because it is a function by its own, create a new fun, features, feature handlers or feature handlers. Features handler, yeah. The name must be exactly the same with what we have provided on the onClick attribute. So the name should be features handler. Features handler. And for the argument or the parameter, it should be a view. Yeah. The name of the parameter is up to you. You can use v, or usually I use view, then a colon followed by view from android.view. Yeah, please autocomplete it. Okay, now when we have created our features handler, you will see that in our three checkboxes, yeah, the on-click method or on-click attribute now recognizes our features handler. Okay, so how to actually handle these three checkboxes? Yeah, let's take a look at its parameter. Yeah. Uh, the function requires one parameter, which is a view object. Yeah, it will refer to the click checkbox here, but actually it is anything. Yeah. So when this features handler function is invoked, yeah, for example, via the on click, yeah, when the checkbox is clicked, then the view parameter will actually contains the reference to the checkbox. Yeah. So for example, if I click my Dolby Surround checkbox, yeah, then the view will contain a reference to my check surround and so on. Yeah, but Android Studio requires it to be a view object, yeah, instead of a specific object like checkbox or button and so on. Then to check which checkbox is clicked, we can use the ID attribute. Yeah, we will use something like this. Now, to check whether this object is a checkbox or not, use the is operator. Yeah, so we check if V is actually a checkbox, then we check the ID. Yeah, if the ID is something like maybe r.id.check.b, then we toast something. Yeah, note that we use is operator here. Yeah, so V is actually a general view object. Yeah, but Android Studio or Kotlin cannot really recognize V as checkbox. Yeah, that's why we need to cast it. Yeah, in this case, we use a feature in Kotlin. Yeah, it is called smart cast. So if we check object or variable with the is operator, yeah, then this V or this argument, this variable is actually implicitly casted into the checkbox. Yeah, only then we can access the attributes specific to a checkbox. Yeah, if we don't cast V as a checkbox, then all attributes specific to the checkboxes, for example, like is checked, cannot be accessed. Yeah, there is also an operator to cast, yeah, explicit cast using S, but this is unsafe. Yeah, if the conversion fails, then we will get an exception. Yeah, especially if it is a null object. Yeah, let's do this. Within our features handler, let's check if view is unchecked box. Then let's check if the view ID is r.id. Let's say for the surround first, yeah. For simplicity, we will toast something loud and clear. Loud and clear. Toast length short, then don't forget to show. Yeah, in this case, you can use the context of this, or as in the slide, you can use application context. Yeah, both are the same actually. Okay, let's try this code. Okay, now if I click on my Dolby Surround checkbox, hopefully it will display this toast. Yeah, and as you can see here, I can see the toast loud and clear. Yeah, but what about you want to show the toast only when the Dolby Surround is actually checked and not when unchecked? Yeah, to do so, then you must do another checking here. If view dot is checked, now as you can see here, yeah, I can already access the is checked attribute from view, although the view is actually a view object. Yeah, but because of the is operator here, my view is actually now a checkbox in here. Yeah, that is what it's called with this one is a smart cast. Yeah, it is done by Kotlin automatically. Okay, now if I uncheck my Dolby Surround, yeah, as expected, this toast is not displayed. But if I check my Dolby Surround, now I get loud and clear. Yeah, so that's how you check checkbox if it is checked by using an is checked attribute. Okay, now do this exercise. Yeah, when any of the checkboxes is checked, show some toast. Yeah, for simplicity, just show the checkbox text. Yeah, or you can use any text as you want. Yeah, for example, if the 3D checkbox is checked, then show the toast 3D. Yeah, that is the first problem. The second problem is a little bit more complex. Yeah. What should you do for the second problem? When the Dolby checkbox is checked, display Studio One at the showing on edit text. When Atmos checkbox is checked, display or append Studio 2. Yeah, so if Dolby Surround and Dolby Atmos both are checked, showing on should display Studio 1 and Studio 2. And when 3 checkbox is checked, display Studio 3. When all checkboxes are checked, display Studio 1, Studio 2, Studio 3. Yeah, so in short, please display the correct studios for each checkboxes. Yeah, you can just append at the end of this text. Yeah, for the first problem, I think it's simple enough. Yeah, you can simply continue this if. Yeah, or I can do something like this. Yeah, I will change my view is checking and view dot is checked. Yeah, and this is the magic of Kotlin. Yeah, even though view is a view object. Yeah, but after I use the is operator, yeah, suddenly I can access the checked property. Yeah, because now my view here, uh, immediately after if, yeah, my view is already a checkbox instead of a view. Yeah, there is a magic of Kotlin. Okay, now I will use when instead of few. When few.it. Now for the RIT checks around, I will use this one. For RIT check Atmos, then I will display crystal clear, and for the 3D, oops, sorry, RIT check 3D, I will simply display 3D. 3D. Yeah, and of course, if you want, you can also simplify these toast. Remember that when is also an expression. Yeah, so if you want to summarize these lines, for the second parameter or second argument, you can use when few.it. I will enter this line and okay, I will put it over here, not there. For RIT check surround, I can simply give it loud and on. Loud with D, not with T. Yeah? Loud and clear. For RIT check Atmos, it is a crystal clear. Oops, sorry. Yeah, crystal clear. RIT 3D. Check 3D actually. 3D. Maybe 3D wonders. But remember, if you use when as an expression, you must include else. Yeah, for else, I will display nothing. Yeah, so this block can be simplified into this expression. Yeah, actually, this is only one expression. Yeah, and it's up to you. Which one do you want? Yeah, maybe you are more familiar. You are more familiar with a simple when. Yeah, but remember, when can also be used as an expression. So you can all actually put when inside toast like this one. Yeah, I will only use one kind or one type of them. Yeah, the simplest when. And let's see if this code is correct. Yeah. Again, only when the checkbox is checked. Okay, I will check my Dolby Atmos. Crystal clear. I will check my 3D. Yeah, it simply says 3D. And for Dolby Surround, I don't really need to check it because we have already checked it. Yeah. Okay, loud and clear, crystal clear, and 3D. Now I will give you some time to work on the second problem. Yeah, you must display the correct studios for each checked features. Yeah, so for example, if I check only Dolby Surround and 3D, then it is showing on Studio 1 and Studio 3. If I check only 3D, then it shows Studio 3 only. If I select Dolby Surround and Dolby Atmos, then it shows Studio 1 and Studio 2. Yeah, I will give you some time to work on this problem. Yeah, you can stop the video to work out the solution. Then after you have finished, you can continue the video and check with my answer. Okay, how is it so far? Yeah, have you finished the second problem? Yeah, I'll show you how it should work. Yeah, something like this. So I have all of my checkboxes are unchecked, so showing on is empty, but I check Dolby Surround, it shows Studio 1. I check Dolby Atmos, it says Studio 1, Studio 2. I check all of them, Studio 1, 2, 3. But if I uncheck, let's say 3D, then it shows Studio 1 and Studio 2. I uncheck Dolby Atmos, it will show Studio 1. And if I uncheck Dolby Surround, then it's showing on nothing. Yeah, and you can play around with these checkboxes. Yeah, so if I check Dolby Surround and 3D, it shows Studio 1 and Studio 3. Yeah, if I check Dolby Atmos, Studio 1, 2, 3, I delete Dolby Surround. Sorry, not delete, yeah, uncheck Dolby Surround. It's showing on Studio 2 and 3. I uncheck Dolby Atmos, Studio 3, and yeah, I guess that's all the variation, yeah. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's all the variations. Now, how to do this? Yeah, still within the features handler. Yeah, but I do it outside the checking. Yeah, because here I already checked if it is a checkbox and it is checked. Yeah, only when it is checked. But in this case, I need to check for everything. Yeah, whether or not a checkbox is checked or not. So I prepare a helper variable here, studio, which is currently empty. Yeah, if the check surround is checked, then I will append studio 1. Yeah, but if it isn't checked, then I will leave it as it is. Yeah, and the same if the check atmos is checked, then I will append any contents within the studio variable with studio 2. But if not that, I will leave everything as it is. Yeah, only studio. And for the check 3D, it's the same. Yeah, if the check 3D is checked, then I will append the content of studio variable with studio 3. Yeah, but if it is not checked, then I will leave the studio as it is. Yeah, maybe you don't really need to do this else's. Yeah, if you don't use the ifs as expressions. Yeah, but here I use if as expressions, so I must use else. Yeah, maybe you have use if use in its usual form, so maybe something like this. Yeah, if check surround. Yeah, so surround is checked, then studio equals to studio 1. Yeah, maybe you use something like this, it's fine. Yeah, but in this case, I use my if as an expression, so I must use else. Yeah, if I don't use else, then Kotlin will complain. Yeah, this is one way to do the second problem. Now, the second part is a radio button. Yeah, we have already used this radio button on the second week. Yeah, when you select male or female as the gender of your hero, remember that? So using radio button, user can only select one of many options. Yeah, but remember that they must be grouped within a radio group. Yeah, within the same radio group, only one radio button can be selected at one time. Thankfully, it is beside the feature, so we don't need to move everything around. Can yeah? Okay, now for let's do the layout. I will do the text first for the rating. Yeah, rating. And then remember that we must add a radio group. Yeah, search in, where is it? Yeah, in buttons. Yeah, add a radio group, but don't constrain it yet. and immediately name your radio group is group rating. Yeah, immediately give it an ID, group rating. And now using the component tree, add 3 more radio buttons. Yeah, you may want to I should have moved my group rating in the empty space. Yeah, now let me just delete my radio button first because I need to move this. Okay, it is not movable, so well, never mind then. Let's just add 3 radio buttons. The first one is radio general. Radio general. The text is general. Whoops, I accidentally removed my text. I guess it's not general. Yeah? It should be everyone. Now, oh dear me, where is my? Why my radio button X weirdly? Oh well, I will add my radio button again. Okay, now actually my radio group X with, yeah, so I will add my radio group manually. Okay, you are there. And then ID group rating. Now I can add my radio button. Hopefully it won't mess up. Nah, okay. Nice. It is radio everyone. Yeah, instead of general, because the rating should be everyone. And then parental guidance. Let's add another radio group. Not radio group, sorry, radio button. Radio, I will shorten by PG, yeah? Parental guidance. Parental guidance. And then lastly, it's a radio measure or M. Radio measure. And the text is measure. Now we can give the group rating constraints here and there. Here and there. Okay. And as always, change the font family. Yeah? Font family to Carla. Okay, nice. Change the radio group to group rating. Okay, we've done that. And for the orientation attribute, yeah, we can use it to align the radio buttons either horizontally or vertically. Yeah, but because we don't have any space to align it horizontally, then we will just leave it as it is. Yeah, by default, it is aligned vertically. Okay, now for the listener, yeah, instead of doing the same thing like our checkboxes, yeah, we will add a listener to the group rating instead. So open your main activity and go back to your own create. I will add this listener here. Listener to a radio group. Group rating dot set on checked change listener. Yeah, the name of the function is different, yeah, not set on click listener, but set on checked change listener. Yeah, and please select the lambda function one, which with curly braces. Yeah, and we are required to specify two parameters here. Just leave it as it is here, radio group and I. Actually, I stands for ID. Yeah, but just leave it as it is. This lambda function is actually a listener responding to radio button clicks or when the radio button changes. Yeah, which one is the checked one changes, then this function is run. Yeah, the parameter ID can be used to check the click radio button ID. Yeah, so I can check if the ID is actually r.id.radio general, then we do something. Let's do that. If the I'll change it to ID. Yeah? If the ID is RID radio everyone, I will toast enjoy with your family. Then I will use the length short and show. Yeah, I will only do it for the radio everyone. Yeah, for everything else, for the remaining radio button, you can do roughly the same. Okay, now if I click parental guidance, nothing happens. If I click measure, nothing happens. But if I click on everyone, then you will get the toast enjoy with your family. Yeah, so instead of creating the listener for each radio buttons, we can use the group rating listener instead. Yeah, but it's not on click listener, but it is on checked change listener. Okay, now for your exercise. When any radio button is clicked, please change the text color to red, which has the code of EB2F06. But for the other radio buttons, just leave them black. Yeah. So for example, if my parental guidance is selected, then the text color is changed to EB2F06, but everything else stays black. Yeah. But let's say if I select the general or everyone radio button, then only everyone will change to color red EP2F06, but everything else is still black. Yeah, I will leave you for this exercise to do it on your own. And for UBAYA students, you have a CE for the 5th week, yeah, this week. Please take some screenshots of your main activity so far, including this exercise 7. Yeah, please take a few screenshots for the layout and your code. Then please submit it on your classroom as usual, yeah? Okay then, so we are finished for today. Yeah, we have learned quite a lot actually about Android user interface components. Yeah, we have learned about text view, then edit text, then we also use a scroll view for our layout to be scrollable, yeah, something like this. And then we have also learn more about image view, how to actually load an external image from a URL using a Picasso library. And we have also learned about checkboxes and radio button with RadioGroup. Yeah, so I guess you can already create a more sophisticated application, yeah, compared to our previous applications. Yeah, but this is only the beginning. Yeah, next week, we will learn more about Android user interface components. So thank you for joining with me today. Yeah, until the very end of this video. If you have any questions, as usual, UBAYA students, you can go ask your questions to the Hangouts group chat, or for everyone else, please let me know in the comments below. Yeah, that's all for today. Stay safe, stay healthy, everyone. I'll see you again next week.